Today is going to be a busy day. I've got a lot of, day job work I've got to get done today. I got a real good early start. Made a good bit of progress. But we made a bit of an impulse decision this weekend, and we've added another type of animal to the farm. And I've got to get some resources together today for that, because I'm short on some things that I need for the rest of my animals, and I'm also short on the things I need for the new ones. Good morning, Twinkle. What are you doing, buddy? Burning up some energy is what he's doing. Good morning, chickens. What are y'all doing? Some of you have gotten out. What are you up to? Just out here to see how you guys are doing. Gonna check on our new additions. You just walked right on up. What's up, guys? How we doing this morning? So yes, we decided to add pigs. I always expected that the next one would either be sheep, because they're smaller and I feel like maybe a little easier to manage, or cow, because cow is usually a pretty staple part of just about any farm that's trying to raise food. But this opportunity came up. A friend of mine who has a farm nearby, he raises Kunekune Giuliani pigs, and this is one of their litters from this year. So he had a couple males, a couple females. Talked to my dad, and we decided we were going to start trying to raise pigs for meat, because I do enjoy pork. So the chickens are very curious. So these little guys are loud. They are about 7 to 8 weeks old. They are Kunekune Giuliani mixes, 3-to-1 on the mix, and I think they'll be a decent addition here, to where they're not too big to manage, but still big enough to have a good yield. And this little area, I hadn't really worked on it at all, so I've got a bunch of temporary stuff in place. I'm gonna have to take some time to give them a proper shelter and a proper area to live, but for now I think this will hold them for a couple of weeks while I take some time to get prepared. I've said this a few times to family lately, and pretty much anybody that knows me knows this to be the case. I'll either research something absolutely to death, or I'll jump in with both feet and just go for it. And while I've done quite a bit of research on pigs, I had really kind of pivoted towards researching sheep and cattle. And so whenever the pigs came up, of course I did a bit of research before calling, and of course I talked to my buddy, and became a little more educated from him, and we decided to just go for it. Talked to my wife, and figure we're just gonna shoot, we're gonna go for it. So my dad and I, we more or less decided to get 2 each. We're gonna raise these up anywhere from 12 to 24 months, and then they should be large enough to butcher. So aside from having our third child, this is probably going to be our big adventure for the year, is learning how to manage and raise hogs. One of the things that I may try to do is do a little bit of rotational grazing with them. There's some areas on the farm that I think they would do a really good job clearing, especially back in my wooded area. So after I get this area kind of shored up for them to have more of a kind of a stationary housing in case I need it, I think I'm going to take them and start trying to rotate them potentially with our meat chickens, which is something else we're planning on right now. So more on that once I actually get ready to place an order. But I think we're going to raise Cornish crosses this year for meat, and then I'm also going to expand my laying flock, because I've had way more interest in eggs than I expected. And I suppose that happens when the supermarket jacks up a dozen eggs to almost $10. So I think I'm going to go ahead and expand my laying flock as well, because we're actually pretty much out of eggs, which is, I guess, maybe a good problem to have, especially when my let's see, I've got 18 that are laying age, and I'm getting a dozen a day. So pretty good numbers there. I just find it pretty funny that the chickens have spent all day over here watching these guys. So last night I went and got a few things last minute. I threw what straw I had left in there and dumped some wood chips that I had in here just to keep this from becoming a swamp, because we are supposed to get more rain this week. But I'm out of straw, so hopefully today I'm going to go buy some more straw. I'm going to also find some better feed for them. So I just bought some, bag feed and a little bit of deer corn, because that's all I could find last night. But now I'm going to go hopefully today over to the feed mill, get some more straw, which I need it in here anyways. It's getting kind of nasty. And then also, so I'll have plenty of bedding for these guys. And then I'm going to talk to them about, some bulk feed, because I expect to have these guys for at least the next year. So find the most cost-effective way to feed them outside of just our table scraps. Which the table scraps ought to go a pretty long way with us, because I've got, my family, which is my wife and I and our 2 kids, and we produce a decent amount of table scraps already. My brother who lives here, and he's got some scraps as well. And then my dad, since they're contributing and they don't live very far, they actually drive right past here most days. So he and his wife and their 2 kids can also produce quite a bit of table scraps. So I think we'll have quite a bit of food for these guys to help cut down on the cost. One of the other things that I've got to do with shoring up this inside is making sure that my fencing is tacked down to the ground real well, which it is in this small area, but I got to get the larger run here shored up. And I'm just going to run a hot wire along the inside. These guys are already hot wire trained. They were kept in with just a couple hot wire low to the ground before, no actual stationary fence. So I'm just going to run some hot wire around in here, just high enough so where they start trying to root, they'll touch their nose on it. But I think they're already visually trained, so I think I just need to get the wire up, and that'll keep them from wanting to root and dig and any of that sort of thing. So we're gonna work on that this week. Hopefully get that finished up before this weekend, and then these guys can have a bigger area to roam. Another goal I've got, since these guys are going to be here a while, is to actually get them more used to me. I understand that with pigs, it's not about if they get out, but when. And so I want to make sure that when they get out, they're not so afraid of me that they just run. I would much rather get them trained to a point where they'll, if not run to me, at least be willing to kind of follow me, if you will. Another thing today I got to get done is I need to add some more wood chips to these coops. I am way behind on it, and they're not really stinking yet, but they're kind of they're on that kind of border where you kind of get a little bit of a smell, and it usually clears up by late morning, but any smell is too much smell, so I need to get that done today too. Another little thing I just noticed is I think one of my hens might be trying to get a little bit broody. And she wasn't real happy with me taking the eggs, and seemed we'll say distraught, or maybe a little bit upset with me once I cleared the nest of eggs, and she was sitting on like 5 or 6 of them. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on her. I think she might be starting to try to get broody, and I'm not ready for that. All right, well, that's enough for this morning. Everybody's got their food and water. Everybody's doing good. Our new pigs are doing pretty good. I'm gonna get back inside. I gotta get some more work done, and come back out and check on them probably sometime after lunch. All right, I figure I'm gonna run out and check on the pigs one more time before I try to make my way to the co-op, or to the feed mill rather. And last night I tossed them a little bit of scraps, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring them the rest of what I had while I'm checking on them. The chickens. It's not for you guys this time. Yep, you gotta share scraps now. See what they think. Oh, was that bucket a little bit too big for you guys? I'm sorry. I might just be better off to dump it on the ground. Let's see, we got some of the regular feed that I bought last night, plus, what is that, banana, a banana peel, a biscuit, some eggs from breakfast the other day. Stuff that the chickens usually get. Well, not yet. I'm not ready yet. Let's see if we need the rest of it though. You guys are just a little skittish. You'll get used to it. There we go. Let's see. Not so bad. All right, well, I don't have time to sit here all day. And I've got a crew behind me. I think you girls are just jealous you're not getting all the attention anymore. All right, we'll check in on you guys again later. All right, I'm back with some straw, so I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this stuff unloaded. And while I'm at it, I think I'm gonna take the rest of what's already left laying on the shelf in here and go ahead and spread it to the pigs. And I think I've got enough wood chips to go ahead and finish both of my coops. So see if we can't get that knocked out during my lunch break. So the other day I was making the joke about my chickens being out, and I forget who it was that said, well, hopefully they're not getting up there and laying in that straw. And I said, no, I don't think so. Well, I was wrong. I found 4 of them up there. I don't know how old any of these are, except this one. This one's warm, so probably laid in the last hour. The rest of these aren't, they don't feel frozen, so I guess I'm gonna try to do a little candling and make sure these are all still good. I'll probably set these aside for my eating anyways. Now that I got that stuff cleared out, I can start stacking my new bales in here. The straw's not too bad. I think it's 5 1/4 a bale here, and these go a long way for me. Now that I got all that unloaded, I'm just gonna take one of the ones I use to create that wind barrier under my coops. I'm gonna spread it in here and help cut down on some of the mud. It's supposed to get rain in the next day or 2, and I don't want this all turned into slop while I gotta be in here working around. The good news is the chickens will come over here and spread this real nice and even, so I don't even have to do a whole lot of work here. This is what I was talking about. They're already going to work. By this evening, they'll have this all spread out for me. I was only gone for like 15 minutes, and they've already spread out the vast majority of the straw that I laid out. And I think they're just searching for seed in the straw, but yeah, they're taking care of most of it already. Alright, so I guess I'm pretty much done. Got everything that I needed to get done for today done. Took a little bit late for lunch, so I need to wrap things up and get inside and make sure I don't get behind on things. But I wanted to do one last little update on everything out here before. So my chickens, they're continuing to do work. Look at this. They said they spread out everything. It only took them like half an hour to spread pretty much everything. There's just a few more piles here and there. They're going to work. Piglets, they're snoozing in the corner right now, not a care in the world, enjoying a little bit of sun over there. Wish us luck with the piglets. We'll see how things go for the next year, and thanks for watching. You have a good day.